and then Fresh Prince, and then when it was time to go to the meeting, I think I went to one Weeblos meeting, and then said, I can't do this. I'm cutting it too close. I got to walk home at night, and I'm going to miss like the first 6 minutes of Raw. I can't do this. See, I got to watch the intro.
I was always jealous because I did 2 years of Girl Scouts because I was watching my brother do Boy Scouts, and he, I went to all the Boy Scout meetings and all that other crap with them. Went on all their camping trips. They would make crap. They built cars and stuff, and I was like, that's awesome. I want to do that. Mm-hmm. So my mom was like, okay, you can sign up for Girl Scouts. Did 2 years of it.
Empty box.
The first year was voluntary. The second year, she signed me up behind my back because I didn't want to go. Because all we did was stay in the church basement and plan things for a bake sale.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
We drew pictures. Fuck you. We drew pictures of what we wanted to do if we were ever to go outside. If we were to ever go camping.
Do they always tell you, it's a man's world out there. You cannot go outside.
Apparently.
You must stay in here and have all the bake sales.
I was like, well, no, when are we going camping? Oh, that's not until later. Well, I was like, well, what's later?
When you grow a penis and become a man.
I was like, that's not until like 5 years.
You start putting hair on your chest and start fucking making your own money.
But also, look at it from their perspective, too. Oh, that's later when I just don't feel like taking a bunch of fucking 8-year-olds out camping.
Well, no, they basically were saying, you can't go camping yet because it's just a bunch of precious little girls in the middle of the woods. It's not safe.
There's a good chance that my dad probably...
At least that's how it came off.
Well, there was a good chance that my dad would have never let me go...
To Girl Scouts?
Yeah. Well, would have never let me finish Boy Scouts anyway. Because if they said anything with camping, he would have been like, no.
Why?
My dad was way too overprotective. Like, he was beyond over. I could not go to sleepaway camp.
Well, keep in mind, it took me 5 years of dating this man until I got him to finally go camping with me.
I've known him for just as long as you have.
Yeah.
His father still won't shake my hand.
You know what you did.
He just looks at me. He just looks at me like I'm an asshole.
You looked at him.
You're skeevy.
See, first off, you came into the car thinking you were better than him, and that's probably why you didn't shake your hand.
Because he was polite, he's better than him. Hi, Mr. McNutt. I'm Chris. It's nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you. And you have your hand out there, and he just looked at you, and he left your arm hanging in the air.
And just kept driving.
And just walked right past you.
You guys think... You have to understand something. That, to me... I didn't even look at that as a bad thing until you said something.
What?
I'm so used to that happening.
Have her jaws dropped, like, oh my god.
But I'm so used to that.
What a dick move.
I'm so used to that happening that's normal. So when Chris said, your dad didn't shake my hand.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Well, Chris, you gotta keep in mind.
I was like, is your dad not see well?
I think I looked at Chris and was like, what, are you gonna cry? You gonna shake your hand? What do you want, another man shaking your hand? What are you, gay?
His father, you gotta keep in mind, when Matt was a kid and his dad got called down to school just for a progress report that, hey, he's got A's and B's, your son's doing great, his dad would bitch at him, or not bitch at him.
If it had to be an A+. If say I brought home a test and it had like a 97 on it. Now, a 97 to me is the holy grail of grades. Because I rarely get 97s in anything.
You couldn't get 3 more points?
He's like, what, you couldn't get 100? And you think it, and you see it, and I'll admit my dad's a dick, but I'm not gonna. But he didn't really understand that 97 is still good.
You just had to have many questions. Like, well, it was 30 questions.
It's either 0 or 100. So if I didn't get a 0, the next logical step is to get 100. So he'd be like, well, you didn't get you couldn't get the 3 extra points? I'm like, well, 97 is good, especially in math, because I sucked at math as a kid. So he's like, in math, I got a 97. I had to do everything short of sucking dick to get 97. And he's like, well, maybe if you tried harder, you got 3 extra points. You got the 100.
The other thing is
he'll give me the $5 for a good grade, and he give me the money. But it was like comments like that. I was like, I don't know.
His dad would also bitch at the faculty and the staff if they called him to the school just to tell him what a good job his son's doing. Because he's like, why the fuck are you bothering me? Interrupting my time?
I agree with that. Now, hold on. My dad worked in Manhattan. So from where my school is to Manhattan is about, I want to say like a half hour. But he has to leave the home, at our house, at 2:30 in the afternoon. I didn't get out of school till 2:45. So for him to go so he's already late going to work.
Yeah, and he's on the other side of town.
And then he's on the other side of town. So he's already going in pissed off. So it's basically me trying not to fuck up in any way, because then on top of him being late for work, I've now pissed him off because of all my shenanigans and hijinks in school. So compound that with the ride home, because then he had to take me home. It was just safe to say he was not happy.
Yeah, but he told me he would yell at the staff and the teachers if they called him in to tell him what a great job.
No, I agree with that, because if let's say, like I send my kid to school, right? He's doing a great job. Unless if you call me in and the speech isn't going to be about
how your kid's a mess up,
what he's fucking up, or that he beat this kid up, or some shit's going on.
That's a phone call.
Yeah. Well, that's a phone call. But if I go into this and the speech isn't, I just wanted to meet the man that spawned this prodigy. Like if it's not just sheer amazement at my existence because of their existence, then I don't fucking care. Why are you calling me in? I've got shit to do. You've got shit to do other than sit around and fucking call these bullshit meetings.
The weirdest things is the first 3 report cards, because there's like 4 quarters. The 3 report cards, parents would have to go there and pick it up. The 4th one they mail home, or they give it to you.
Typically, you're on break and out of school by the time.
And my dad would never understand why the fuck they couldn't just hand me the report card and then take it home so that he can bitch me out in the comfort of his own home, instead of having to bitch me out in the car driving from New Rochelle back to the Bronx. Then for me to go home and then wait till my mom gets home to bitch me out now.
Well, it's because the rest of the world, the way that works is if I get a shitty report card, well, I just never got a report card. They must have skipped me that year. I don't know what happened, Mom. But you, like because I'm not afraid of my parents. You, on the other hand, that nobody knew, and I'm sure they couldn't know that you were terrified. Like, if I didn't give this to him, he'd kill me. He'd find out and kill me.
Well, my school was.
Or do they call and say,
No. What my school did was they
hate that shit. That shit happened to me.
They would also mail it too.
Bastards.
Yeah,
my school was like 17 steps ahead of every student there.
In all the Catholic schools that I went to, there was no way of getting around hiding your midterms or your report cards. Nothing. You didn't stand a chance. The only way that you could make yourself better is if when you got it to try to alter it in some way. But even that, they made it so freaking obvious that it was just not happening.
I'm telling you, dude, it's ridiculous the amount of time. Like, I would say, you know what, they're not seeing this report. First year, I got like what did I get? My grades are okay, but not great to the point where my dad would be like jumping up for joy. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, I'll show Mom. So I'm not going to, I'll put it away and do whatever.
Yeah, you got to schedule it. So you got to schedule the rest of your afternoon so that the first parent you see is the cool one.
Oh, yeah. God.
Oh,
because if you see the other one first and don't give them the report card, and then you see the other one and give them the report card, they're like, what the fuck?
Now, granted, my mom is not easy, but she's not
better compared to your father.
She's the better one of the two. You have to understand, they are like off the boat Jamaicans. Like, I'm just telling you, like they
nothing's good enough.
Nothing is good enough. They work like 3 jobs. So if I work 1 job and bitch, they're like, "What the fuck what's wrong with you?" Like, I work 3 jobs just because I want to. And you're bitching at 1 job?
My
what the hell's the matter with you?
Way. Like when my parents started to realize that my mom would go softer on my older brother and I when we got
3 full-time jobs?
Well, my dad at one point worked.
That's no sleep.
He worked security at New York Hospital.
That's teleporting to your next job.
Yeah, he worked. Yeah,
you can do. I worked.
And then for a while, he worked at a department store, both doing security. So he would work 8 hours there, and then work 8 hours at
Because I worked 4 part-time jobs.
But that was before.
That was back when you were making movies. It doesn't really count.
What?
Oh yeah.
That was before he did that before I was even born. So
Right.
like when I was born, he was just working at New York Hospital.
See, my father used to, at one point, when he was upset that my mom would kind of go easier on my brother and I when report cards came out, that she would just kind of like ease him into the situation if some things were good, and then there was like 1 or 2 grades that were bad or just not as good as the other ones, and he knew that was just because we were lazy, because I've always was fantastic at science and history and English, so if I got like a C or a B and he knew that it's easy for me to get an A, I was in trouble. So eventually he would be the one taking off work early to come pick my brother and I up from school, just to get the report cards before my mom, so he could actually yell at us. I was like, "You're an Irish bastard."
You see, I would just level. I try to rationalize with my dad. I'd be like, "Look, man, fuck that lady. She's a bitch, man."
That would never have worked in my family.
Like seriously,
that worked. That worked with me though. No, for one teacher in high school, it worked for me when I said that teacher had it out for me. I think it was when I moved down here and I went to Northern for my senior year, and my English teacher, who was like the biggest cunt that you could ever meet, because she was just angry at everybody, and she literally failed the entire class. I passed every test. How the hell did I end up with, a D? And then my parents went down there. I told them, like, she's a bitch. She failed everybody. No one passed.
What grade were you in?
This was 12. This was my senior year.
A D isn't a failing grade.
No, it's not good.
It's not good.
No.
I was like, you think I'm going to go home to 2 fucking Jamaicans and be like, hey, a D? But let me tell you something.
It's not failing.
Technically, it's passing.
Look, they don't put it on the diploma, all right? Straight D's and straight A's give you the same exact diploma.
I was like...
matter.
You don't get gold trim and a blowjob for straight A's, no. Hey, you get the same fucking diploma that moron that sits in the corner and picks his face.
That was the problem. They lumped me with the moron in the corner. That was the problem. So I bitched at them.
The only class that my parents allowed me to get a lower grade in was any math class, and that was only because I'm dyslexic. That is the only reason why that they were okay with me, as long as I'm still passing. They were a little bit more lax about it.
No, I would just explain the person.
No, they still wanted me.
Like that's my dad. No, I want you to go on the conference. I want you to go to the conference just so you can see what a bitch this lady is. And you'd be like, fuck it, I don't want to meet this stupid bitch. And I'd be like, oh, shit. And we'd move along and watch Raw.
Yeah, I'm going to sit home and watch Raw with your friend Matt. I missed the intro because of that bitch.
No, I used to watch Raw back then.
Yeah.
Raw on WCW?
Yeah.
I like WCW more at the time.
At the time.
Yeah.
When you start seeing what they did towards the end.
I didn't see any of that.
When like David Arquette was the WCW champion.
Isn't he like a...
He's an actor.
Yeah, I thought so.
Won the WCW championship. You knew that was they were going out of business.
Would he tase somebody?
No.
He
legitimately. I will try to find that match and I'll show it to you.
All right.
So, but it was the writing was on the wall when that happened. It was like, yeah, we're just phoning it in now.
We're bringing out big name celebrities like David Arquette.
Yeah. Well, Jay Leno wrestled at a WCW pay-per-view. I have that pay-per-view.
I want to see that wrestling match.
Oh, we will after this show. We'll watch it because I have it on my the hard drive.
Do we really have to watch that?
It's just that match. We're not watching that pay-per-view. We're watching that match. And that was the last one.
How am I going to know what the storyline is if we don't watch the whole?
You don't need to know the storyline. You just need to know that Jay Leno was in it. Jay Leno was in it.
Is he a heel or is he?
He's a face.
Oh, yeah.
Mind you, let me give you the.
Can Jay Leno ever be the heel? Let
me give you the synopsis. I'm going to give you the quickest shit rundown of the storyline. The storyline happened where Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan wanted to essentially, because they were in the NWO, they wanted to take over the Tonight Show. Jay Leno wasn't having any of that. So they decided, okay, we're going to have a match at this pay-per-view where control of the Tonight Show is on the line. So if Eric Bischoff and Hogan